Again, Sissy is not taking accountability or approaching the fact that her son Gary got a whole problem out here and he about to fuck up everything for Whitney. She was more concerned about trying to get Gary a contract. Bitch, before you find him a contract, find his ass a sober house. Well, lovers, before we get started, please make sure that you like and share this video because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. And if you do not have a retirement/investment plan in place, please check out the Acorn app below. Now, let's talk about Robyn Crawford's book, A Song for You, chapter 7 through 9. Child, Robyn, you giving me too much. 9 hours worth of book, girl, is too much. I don't even like doing 3 hours worth of movie. So 9 hours worth of book, Robyn, bitch, it's too goddamn much. Now, it's good. I ain't gonna lie. But, bitch, you doing too much. Here we are, chapter 7. We got Whitney and Teddy. If you remember, Hold Me in Your Arms Tonight and Make It Last Forever. Beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful song. Now, this was Teddy's comeback song because remember, he was in a tragic accident that reared him, paralyzed from the waist down. You can't tell me that Teddy still wasn't, getting the women. Wait a minute. Did Teddy get caught with a trans woman? I don't know. But you can't tell me whether it was a trans woman or a biological woman or cisgender woman that he still wasn't getting it. Shortly after that, Kashif came into the picture. Kashif, that stunt you tried to pull on Whitney, you was a whole nigga with this. So anyway, Kashif wanted Whitney to sing backgrounds on his album, okay? Now, just a little piece about Kashif. You know Kashif ain't his real name, child. He was actually born Michael something. I don't know. Actually, a foster child, right? And how he got into the business was he was helping BT Express. If you know anything about BT Express, you know that they do it. Okay? They do it. Okay? They do it until they satisfied. So, like I said, Kashif wanted Whitney to be on his music, to take his music to another level. Because just like Sissy could do it, Whitney could do it too, right? Whitney was feeling agitated because she was like, wait a minute, should I be getting paid for this? Yes, bitch, you should be getting paid for this. What ended up happening was Robyn, because at this time she was becoming the fixer, the doer. Okay, so what Robyn did was sent the old invoice down there to the record label saying, hey, you need to pay my girl, right? So when Sissy found out, because Sissy don't play, okay? Now, she will allow her sons to smoke crack down there to the river, right? But she won't allow her daughter to be taken care of or be taken advantage of through the business. So what Sissy did was call down there and say, you know what? Take my daughter's voice off the album. He ain't do neither. Just another little piece of information, Janet Jackson. I love you. Shasta La Vista. We don't have no problems in our life. You a good, wholesome lady. You got a soft voice, Shaka Zulu, okay? But this little piece of information, the song How Will I Know, Janet passed on that song. Now, I am a Janet fan and a Whitney fan, but I'm telling you, there is no way that Janet would have been able to do for How Will I Know the way that Whitney did for How Will I Know. And we all know that. And I love both them hussies. But I digress. At this time, Whitney was so good at what she was doing that they started calling her One Take Whitney. Who's surprised at that? So at this time, Whitney Houston needed Robyn full time. You want that support full time. Who the hell, if you have a good Judy that you've been loving your whole life, or a best friend, whoever, your whole life, you want that person there with you. And I don't care if they just the official paperclip picker-upper. You want that person there. So Whitney was like, you know what you need to do? You need to go down there to that Piedmont Airlines and you need to tell them motherfuckers you quit because you working for the Whitney Houston right now. Which Robyn ain't had no problem doing. She was like, shoot, I get to hang out with my best friend, make $300 a week and live rent free? Ninja, please. Now, this is about the time that the Inquirer started asking questions about Whitney Houston and Robyn's relationship. But like I said, the relationship was always on that line that it could be really good BFFs or lovers. Okay, so yeah, you really don't know, but you know the vultures is out and they want a story any way they can get it. And remember, at this time, they not hunching no more. In fact, Cissy Houston was more pissed about that gay rumors was saying that Robyn and Whitney was fucking than she was about Jermaine Jackson, married ass, sleeping with her young daughter. So we know how Cissy felt about their relationship together. But now we finna find out how the pappy felt about the situation, right? So when they went to the father to talk to them about, you know, hey, look, they saying we gay together, the father's response was, look, just find two dudes and go on 2 dates together and go on double dates together. That's how you resolve the whole problem. And it wasn't no, oh my God, my daughter is a lesbian. None of that. Okay, he just was like, go find two niggas and date them. Yeah, Robyn wasn't willing to go on no date with no dude. Whitney was like, girl, don't worry about it. You know I love you, girl. Now, who else wasn't messing with Robyn besides Cissy was Clive. Okay, because every time Clive and Whitney Houston closed the door, they closed the door in front of Robyn. Now, on other ones, when she was in other meetings, they was closing the door behind her. So Robyn was always involved in most things, except for the things that was associated with her and Clive only. Very telling of the sign of the times, but you know, Whitney is a very beautiful girl, but she has always been a bald-head chicken. Shasta La Vista, Whitney. And you know, I know you like, now your hair ain't long either, but lover, this thing is this length by choice, okay? Bitch, you know, I've had some hair in my day. I just cut it down because I'm old, okay? And you don't feel like dealing with all that bullshit. Okay? Whitney has always been a bald-head chicken. We know this about her. So on her first album, they considered her album to be too black because on her first album, remember, she wasn't smiling and she had her natural hair in it. And she was standing there regal. Now, ain't nothing wrong with a black woman in a short afro, okay? If I had edges, I would get my daggone afro back. I would be cranking it. But, you know, I told you, these edges is always on struggle. She was in her feelings because she was made to feel that she wasn't good enough because they wanted her to look like Vanessa Williams. Okay, now, I know y'all remember the scandal with Vanessa Williams, Del Rio. I know y'all remember that, right? But they wanted her to have the old long hair look to her, okay, y'all? That's hurtful. Here we go. This girl making music and it's successful, but they still living in this old meager apartment that they first moved in, okay? She was still only getting $300 a week, okay? That's it, $300 a week. So what happened was Robyn said, please call your management company and ask them to give us $400 a week. Whitney did it. They said, no, bitch, no. What happened was, Robyn, since she was so cool with the father, she had reached out to John Houston and said, listen, can you please help us with Whitney? We need the management group to disperse more money weekly. John Houston said, you ain't say nothing but a word. Robyn at that point said, it came back and bit her in the ass later. The promo tour, right? And they're 5 years into their relationship. I'm like, damn, that's it, 5 years? I know to some people 5 years feel like, you know, a lifetime child. But once you get to be my age, almost 50, you be like, girl, that's a drop in the bucket. But anyway, they on this promo tour and they doing less booger sugar because they too busy to do the booger sugar, right? And on top of that, during that time, remember when Nancy Reagan was on this whole Say No to Drugs tour? She got in contact with Whitney and was like, Whitney, I need your help with this tour. They looking at each other and was like, girl, we need to let this book of sugar go because we can't be around here telling these daggone kids to say no to drugs. And as soon as we get off the stage, we round there in a closet. So in 1986, they moved out that little meager apartment, child, and they moved on up to a deluxe apartment in the Sky. Now, when they moved into the deluxe apartment in the Sky, they hired Sylvia because while they was on tour, they needed somebody to take care of the cats in the house, right? Or Whitney loved Sylvia. She was real good. She was real faithful to her. Here we are at Carnegie Hall with Al, fat ass Sharpton. Y'all remember when he was old nuisance around here? Fat as shit. Some of y'all new people don't know that he used to be fat with old pressing curve. Child brain. He ain't gonna let that now. He might let 70 pounds go, but he ain't gonna let go of that pressing curl. But Carnegie Hall, Al Sharpton is pissed at Carnegie Hall because I guess the only people that Carnegie Hall allowed to promote there is, white producers, but the NAACP had to call in and intervene and say, Al, fat ass Sharpton, get your fat ass out the way and let Whitney Houston come through. The show went on. She did good. It was successful, right? And this was the thing. Now, she had a duet with Teddy, Hold Me in Your Arms Tonight and Make It Last Forever. Her brother, Gary, was supposed to sing it with her, okay? Because, Teddy, he was probably somewhere else, doing something else, right? But Gary was supposed to sing it. Gary was pulling a whole David Ruffin, showed up right before the curtain call. I said, oh my God. Child, you can't trust a nigga that smoke crack. But at the Grammys, Robyn was not invited. It was purely a family affair. And just like in the documentary, the mother and the father, Cissy Houston and John Houston, were together at the Grammy supporting their daughter, Whitney. The whole family was there, but nobody knew that Cissy and John was divorced. You worried about what they think. Child, once you stop worrying about what everybody else think about you and your life, then you will be liberated. Until then, you're in chains. The greatest drug tour, child bang. You want to know why it was the greatest drug tour? Because it was the greatest love tour. Robyn called it that because this is when she first experienced that. Oh, shit. It's ninjas everywhere willing to give you whatever it is that you need in life. Baby, if you need it, them mother hunchies is sitting outside the tour bus ready to give it to you. That's information. In 1985, Whitney was opening for acts like Luther Vandross and Jeffrey Osborne, right? Now, the thing about Luther Vandross, remember, her mother used to sing backgrounds for Luther Vandross. So she had admiration and love for him for a long time since she was a child. Now, if you did not know this, Cissy sang backgrounds on Luther Vandross' song, Wait for Love, Creep, and Since I Lost My Baby. God, why it's got to be my favorite song that bitch was singing background for. But nonetheless, she loved and admired how Luther Vandross took care of his business, his showmanship, how he treated his band. She loved it all, right? Now, her mother wasn't singing on tour with Luther Vandross when she was opening for her, but nonetheless, he still had the great Lisa Stansfield singing. Was it Lisa Stansfield? Lisa Fisher. And she also said that once she did the opening act for him, what would happen is her and Robyn would sneak down into the audience and watch him perform from the theater and not, or from the arena and not from side, because she wanted to experience what everybody else felt. Did I see? Yeah, I think my cousin Mick took me to see Luther Vandross at the Capitol Center, child. Unforgettable. Back to the Greatest Love Tour, or the Greatest Drug Tour. That went from July to December, child. And she expressed how Sylvia is not just the house sitter anymore. Sylvia is on tour with them because, Whitney trusted her. Whitney wanted her dogs with her, or her people with her. Gary was freebasing all over the place. Now, this is what freebasing, from what I understand, is different from hitting the pipe. Because I think freebase has less baking soda. I don't know. I ain't no drag. Let me leave that shit alone. I don't know. I leave that for you motherfuckers. Whitney would indulge in the dragging from time to time, but Robyn was fighting it. Oh my gosh, she was fighting the dragon. She like, somebody got to be sober on this goddamn bus. Gary could not stand Robyn. I wonder why. Was it because Gary was mad that Whitney was too busy singing? Okay? And he needed her to be on a crack run with him? To Japan, child. Okay? The clean and sober city. Because them motherfuckers couldn't speak Japanese and they didn't know how to say booger sugar in Japanese. Okay? So this was the clean and sober show. Michael was there and he actually was very kind to Robyn. Robyn says that Michael showed her about the same amount of love and care that Whitney did. Now, she didn't say that her and Michael was fucking or had fucked before, but what she did say was that Michael was very kind to her. Child, then they went to Australia. Child, with so much booger sugar, they say they had a funky good time. And let me tell you why. Because the American dollar down there in Australia was threefold. Or 3 times Australian money. I said, damn. I thought them niggas was dead by the time they got back on the plane, child. If you have not already done so, please remember to like and share this video because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. And remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Have a good one. Deuce.